big, and you see the pit window between 36 and 40 laps. Kurt Busch, David Rubin, a Dodge, and a Toyota. Share row 1. We are set to get it rolling in round 15 in 2011 in the Sprint Cup Series. Green flag in the air. We are racing in Michigan. Doesn't take him long to get 3 wide here. Kurt Busch in front of David Rubin, and he grabs the top spot. And you can see where they're going to, you know, the draft really comes into play in this place. You don't think it does, but it really does. You'll see these cars, you'll see a lot of drafting going on, guys working with each other, or hanging guys out up the straightaway. Before, once you get to the corner, all bets are off. Tony Stewart inside Brian Vickers, and around him for third off of turn 2.
And that's almost a slide move. You see him just drive in the corner and slide up in front of Vickers and take that line of play.
Denny Hamlin serving notice. He came to play, getting around Greg Biffle for position. Look at the distinct lines as they go through the corner here in Michigan. Completing lap 2, Kurt Busch, the race leader.
Tony's moving, passes the car for third, and then the next corner he's already up to second, passing the car, or trying to make a move.
2 drivers that qualified well here, Matt Kenseth and Tony Stewart. They have great resumes at Michigan. They usually have to start outside the top 20. The fact that they qualified well could be a bad sign for the competition.
Yeah, there's 3 drivers, if you look at it, if you just look at the sport. Tony, Matt, and Kevin Harvick. It doesn't make any difference where they qualify by the last 50 laps of the race. If they have a car capable of winning, they're going to find their way to the front and be able to challenge. Boy, Kurt Busch is just set sail. It's like he's just still running qualifying laps compared to everybody else right now.
Denny Hamlin doing a nice job as well. He won this race last year, leading more than 120 laps. He's gone from 10th to 6th, and they're the guys that started back outside the top 20. Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Busch going at it for position. Just in front of them, you see Mark Martin, a 5-time winner here, racing with Marcus Ambrose.
You see these guys going to the corner. You saw Mark Martin going up on the high side and cut straight down to the bottom.
Another good qualifying run. He started 9th. And that's where he rides on track right now.
That's where it feels like when you're in a Menard situation, you hit a brick wall.
You get around on a guy, you pull up next to him, unless you have somebody right behind you or in front of you on that track. It really feels like a parachute just went out the back of your car.
It really does. As we watch this move for second place, if you guys at home watch this race today, the guys that run lows really make good ground getting in the corner. They can dive right past the guy. Coming off the corner, the high lane keeps the momentum up and keeps going. If you're like Tony's car and it's working like it's working right now, it appears that high or low is working this early in the race for him.
And really, the reason for that, Kyle, is because you can, when you're on the low line, you drive in deeper.
Yeah.
You drive the car in deeper. You're on the throttle longer. When you're on the high line, you let it roll out. But when you're on the high line, you pick the throttle up earlier than the guy does on the bottom. So that's why you can get in better, you know, if you're running low line. But on the high line, you can get off better.
And on the low line, let's be honest, you got more room to save it if it gets there.
Absolutely.
You got the whole racetrack to chase it up.
And, you know, to run that low line, I think you need to have a lot of motor. The guys that have big horsepower can run that low line because you just scrub off so much speed on the bottom. And if you've got more power, a little bit more power with somebody, it definitely helps.
And again, if you're watching races on TV, now the way we start this thing, the pole sitter can pick inside lane or outside lane, whichever lane they want once you win the pole. If you watch a race where the guy picks the outside lane, you know that outside lane is the faster lane most of the time during the day.
And right there was a great example. The 24 was about to get passed by Harvick, and Keselowski went up there and drafted him, gave a little bit of a bump, and he actually pulled the pass off.
Oh, Jimmie Johnson, caution on the track. First caution of the day coming out at lap 7, and it's for the 5-time champion, Jimmie Johnson.
That thing's got a right front flat, a left front flat, a left rear flat.
He's up there in the middle. He's probably just going to lose the air because he's got somebody kind of behind him on his left rear. That's just a classic example of taking the air off the rear of the car and spoiler. He just lost grip in the rear there. Just not in a really good spot.
It's just in a bad spot on the racetrack. There's somebody under you, there's somebody on the outside, and there's not enough wind, not enough downforce to hold the car. AJ did a good job of steering to the right and staying off of it.
You see those tires popping as he's got him locked down.
On board with Kyle Busch, looking back at Jimmie off of 2.
It's like the thing wiggled a little bit, and when he went to correct it, it had already stepped out enough. And he has to run really slow around the racetrack here to keep these tires from coming off and tearing the fenders slap off this thing. He's riding around with 3 flat tires.
This is not a big deal at this stage of the race, unless you tear the fenders off of it, and then you may be done.
Yeah, and what they'll have to check here is you guys notice when the car was sliding, look at that right front. That splitter is on the ground. And the whole time he's riding around, it's like just grinding that splitter off on the right front. You begin to lose that little bit of splitter. It didn't take much. Remember we talked about 16th on bump stops, 30 seconds on bump stops to keep and adjust that thing.
Come on, boys. Be more. Hustle up. Hustle up. Yeah, they got to hustle up.
Jimmie Johnson already in for his stop, and the rest of the drivers joining him. Marty?
Tony Stewart had one of the fastest cars in that run very early on. They were surprised at how good the qualifying lap went, so also a little surprised how well it went. 2 tires for Tony. Ralph?
Marty, they're going to go 2 rounds of the track bar for Brian Vickers. They wanted right-side tires and fuel on the 83. That's what they've done. Now,
Steve Addington trying to control the track position, one of his keys at the beginning of the racetrack. Bar adjustment, the car free, just right side tires only. Chris?
well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. saying the car is dirt track and loose into 1 and 3, so they made a track bar adjustment and 4 tires.
The race off pit road.